What if a fresh college graduate, unable to find a job and forced to clean the homes of the rich, was suddenly chosen to host the most powerful alien weapon in the universe? This is the story of Jaime Reyes. Jaime returns home to Palmera City, his diploma in hand and a world of possibilities in his eyes. But that elation is crushed by a harsh reality. His family's auto shop has gone bankrupt, suffocated by the corporate giant Cord Industries, which has its gleaming, sterile towers looming over their neighborhood. Worse, they're about to lose their home to crippling debt, and his father, Alberto, is still recovering from a recent heart attack. A constant, quiet worry hanging over them all. Jaime, the family's great hope, finds his dreams put on hold as he desperately searches for any job to keep them afloat. But no one wants a graduate with no experience. The only option is a humiliating job cleaning the mansion of Victoria Cord, the ruthless CEO of the very company that destroyed their lives. While working, Jaime and his sister Milagro witness a heated confrontation between Victoria and her niece Jenny Cord. Jenny is furious that her aunt is reviving a dangerous military project called OMAC. When Victoria's cold threats make Jenny visibly uncomfortable, Jamie's sense of justice kicks in, and he steps forward to intervene. This single act of courage gets both him and Milagro fired on the spot. Outside, feeling defeated, they are approached by Jenny. Overwhelmed with guilt, she gives Jaime her number, promising him a real job interview at the Cord Tower headquarters. It's a tiny glimmer of hope. The next day, the entire Reyes family drives Jaime to the interview, cheering for him so loudly from their beat-up truck that he wishes the ground would swallow him whole from embarrassment. Meanwhile, Jenny risks everything, sneaking into a restricted lab to steal a strange blue scarab-shaped artifact that Victoria's team unearthed from the Antarctic ice. As Jaime waits in the lobby, Jenny bursts out of the elevator, the alarms blaring behind her. In a panic, she shoves a fast food box into his hands, her voice urgent. "Guard this with your life," she pleads. "But whatever you do, do not open it, and don't touch what's inside." Back home, curiosity and the Reyes family's chaotic energy win out. They open the box. Inside rests a metallic blue scarab. Milagro playfully snatches it, tossing it to their uncle Rudy to tease Jaime. Jaime grabs it back, and in that instant, his world changes forever. The scarab comes alive. It glows with an otherworldly light, its legs unfurling as it leaps with an eerie intelligence, clamping onto Jaime's face. The family screams in panic. Rudy tries to pull it off, but is thrown across the room by a massive jolt of electricity. The artifact burrows into Jaime's spine, and he lets out an inhuman scream of agony as his body begins to transform. A sleek blue armor, like the exoskeleton of an insect, spreads across his skin, covering him from head to toe. When the transformation is complete, a calm female voice echoes inside his mind, startling him. It is the Scarab, introducing herself as Kajida. She announces a systems check is commencing. Before Jaime can process this, the suit's thrusters ignite, launching him like a missile through the roof of his house and into the upper atmosphere. For a few breathtaking seconds, he witnesses the silent, beautiful curve of the Earth, a sight no human should see. Then gravity takes hold. He plummets back towards the city, screaming in terror. The suit responds to his panic, sprouting powerful wings that catch him just moments before he hits the water. The flight is chaotic, a clumsy, uncontrolled series of violent thrusts. He smashes into a car, then sees a city bus hurtling towards him. The suit instinctively creates a shimmering energy shield. But instead of just blocking the bus, the shield slices clean through it, separating it into two perfect halves as if it were made of paper. The systems check is complete. The suit unceremoniously dumps him back in his house naked, bruised, and unconscious. When he wakes, he scrambles for his clothes and lets out a cry of horror when he sees the blue, insect-like device now permanently fused to his back. He knows he has to find Jenny, convinced she's the only one who can help him remove this curse. Uncle Rudy warns him. The cops in this city work for Cord. If they find out you have a piece of military tech grafted to your spine, we're all in deep trouble. But Jaime, desperate, ignores him and escapes. He finds Jenny just as she's fleeing from Victoria's mercenaries, and together they manage to get away. At the Reyes' temporary home, Jenny explains the horrifying truth. The Scarab is a sentient bioweapon that chooses its own host, and for reasons unknown, it chose Jaime. She has no idea how to remove it, but she believes answers lie in her father's secret vault. The only way in is with a digital key her father Ted Kord's watch, which is locked away back at Kord Industries. Jaime and Jenny infiltrate the tower to retrieve the watch. But as they escape, they are intercepted by Carapax, Victoria's monstrous bodyguard who is fused with an OMAC prototype. A brutal fight breaks out. Jaime, still a novice in the suit, is completely outmatched. But just as Carapax is about to crush him, Rudy and Jenny ram him with their truck, creating an opening for Jaime to escape. They make it to the old Kord estate, where the watch unlocks Ted Kord's secret laboratory. It's a superhero's lair. It turns out Jenny's father was the original Blue Beetle. While Rudy works on hacking the computer systems, Jaime and Jenny have a moment alone. She tells him how her father studied the Scarab his whole life, but it never chose him, so he became a hero using his own gadgets. After her mother died, he lost his way and eventually disappeared. She admits she's jealous of the powerful, loving bond Jaime shares with his family. As they lean in for a kiss, Rudy bursts in, announcing he's in. The files reveal the worst possible news. The Scarab merges with its host on a cellular level. There is only one way to remove it. The host must die. The discovery crushes Jaime. He argues with Jenny and Rudy, feeling trapped. "I never wanted this," he yells. "I just wanted to help my family." Rudy follows him out, comforting him, suggesting that maybe this is his destiny. At that moment, they see Victoria's helicopter flying directly towards his family's home. Jaime knows they're in mortal danger. He tries to summon the suit, but his fear and resistance block it. Remembering Rudy's words that the Scarab is meant to protect its host, he makes a leap of faith and throws himself off the roof. In midair, Kajida responds, and the armor envelops him. He rockets home, crashing into the middle of the raid to defend his family. The mercenary's bullets bounce harmlessly off his armor. He throws soldiers aside as his family tries to escape, but Milagro trips. Their father Alberto rushes to her side. Seeing them vulnerable, Jaime fires a blast at a mercenary, but the split-second distraction is all Carapax needs. As he attacks Jaime, Alberto clutches his chest and collapses from a heart attack. Jaime screams and tries to run to him but is caught by an electrical claw. Helpless, he watches as his family home explodes behind them, and he is dragged away by Victoria and Carapax. The ambulance arrives too late. Alberto is pronounced dead. The next day, the heartbroken but resolute Reyes family decides to rescue Jaime themselves. Jenny takes them to her father's lair, where they board his armored aircraft, the Bug Ship. Armed with Ted Kord's non-lethal gadgets and weapons, they fly to the remote island fortress near Cuba, where Victoria is holding Jaime. There, Victoria's plan is in motion: to download the Scarab's code into thousands of OMAC suits, creating an unstoppable army. The process will kill Jaime. They strap him down and the extraction begins. He screams in excruciating pain as his life force is drained away. His organs begin to shut down. As he fades, he has a vision of his father, who encourages him to embrace his destiny instead of fighting it. Jaime says his final goodbye and reaches out to Kajida, finally, truly accepting her as a part of him. Just then, Jenny and Milagro detonate explosives on the main generator. Jaime, now in perfect symbiosis with the Scarab, breaks free. A sympathetic scientist, Sanchez, reboots his suit but is immediately killed by Carapax. Jaime escapes and finds his Nana, now wielding a high-tech Gatling gun, mowing down mercenaries. They get back to the Bug Ship, but Jenny and Milagro are missing. Jaime flies back for them. He saves his sister, but Victoria captures Jenny. Carapax, now in a fully powered OMAC suit, arrives, and a devastating battle ensues. Jaime is losing. As Carapax prepares the killing blow, Rudy appears, throwing rocks at the super soldier. Carapax fires a rocket at him. Believing his uncle is dead, Jaime is consumed by a primal roar of anguish. Grief turns to white-hot fury. He no longer wants to survive. He wants revenge for his father and uncle. He unleashes the full power of the Scarab, brutally beating Carapax into submission. He raises an energy sword for the final strike, but Kaji, Da's voice cuts through his rage, reminding him of his own words, "We are not killers." She floods his mind with Carapax's stolen memories. A little boy losing his mother in a bombing, forced to become a child soldier, then turned into a lab rat by Victoria. His whole life has been pain. Jaime lowers his weapon. He sees not a monster, but another victim. He extends a hand to Carapax, telling him, "My love for my family makes me strong." Meanwhile, the helicopter carrying Victoria and Jenny crashes. Jenny destroys the copied Scarab code. Enraged, Victoria orders Carapax to kill them both. For the first time, he disobeys. He lets Jaime and Jenny go, sets his own mech suit to self-destruct, and walks towards an illusion of his mother, pulling Victoria with him into a fiery explosion that consumes the entire island. Jaime flies back to the bug ship and finds Rudy miraculously alive. The entire family embraces, crying tears of joy and relief. In the aftermath, Jenny becomes the new CEO of Cord Industries. The Reyes family gathers at the ashes of their home to mourn Alberto. The whole neighborhood comes to offer support. Jenny arrives, promising that her company will rebuild their home and gifting Rudy a new truck. As she prepares to leave, Jaime offers to fly her home. They share a long-awaited kiss as the Scarab suit envelops him, and they soar into the sky together, a new hero born from tragedy and love.